Hello everyone, today we're doing something a tad different. Yesterday I decided to start building something from one of my stories, and I realized that it would make a good video. This will probably become a series, because I find it easier to visualize what's happening in these stories if I have something physical to reference. I haven't made a video about the cult of Luvi yet, but don't worry, it'll be out sometime in the near future. Anyway, I built a throne that I drew in The Fall of Aronach because it seems like a decent place to start each of these videos. This is Yamashit's throne, but as you can see, it's reserved for me, Philovirus 2003, or just Philo if you don't have much time. Actually, Philo is a much cooler name than Nolan. I think I'd like to go by that on the internet from now on. Ignore what I said in the Welcome to Keishaz video. Anyway, let's get into this video. So, I built this Temple of Luvi over the course of a few hours yesterday, and the first thing you'll probably notice when I fly up here is that it's open air. The reason for this is simple. Luvi is the sun god, and to fully appreciate him, you've got to bask in sunlight during the temple services. That's what Luvi's devotees do while laying on these mats. The mats aren't provided, they have to be supplied by the temple goer. I put them down here to help you guys visualize what it would be like during an actual service, just without all the blind Luvi devotees. Oh right, I forgot to mention. They're blind. This will be explained more in detail in the video on the Cult of Luvi, but, long story short, the Cult of Luvi has an initiation ritual that involves staring at the sun for a whole day, sunrise to sunset. Yes, the ritual does blind you, but this is the only way that members of the cult believe you can truly connect with Luvi. Once you've completed this ritual, with a supervising priest that has completed the ritual himself, you can then be inducted into the Mankebdi, an exclusive inner circle of philosophers and other people who consider themselves intelligent. The name Mankebdi means brighter, and is an allusion to having given oneself over to the sun fully. It's also a reference to their massive superiority complex. Brighter can simply mean more radiant, but it can also mean more intelligent, because of Luvi's connection with both intellect and the sun. Anyway, a Luvi worshipper will enter the temple from one of these 4 entrances. I made the pillars darker than the rest of the temple, which is supposed to be worn down stone, because not only are they more exposed to the elements than the rest of the temple, but they also get brushed against by the hands and shoulders of several people every time there's a service, so naturally, they've become slightly more worn than the rest of the temple. You can see this in the floor too, where I have replaced the smooth sandstone with sand in some places. It's subtle, but it does the job well. Like I said earlier, the worshipper will lay down a mat when he gets into the temple. If he's late, he'll lay down immediately and listen to the priest speak from this blue pedestal in the middle. Usually, though, most will arrive early, set down their mats, and come to the walls near these pillars to discuss philosophy, theology, and just everyday matters with their fellow Mankebdi members. That's why there are these seats along the edges for them to sit. Some choose to lean against the pillars, which is why they are slightly more worn as well. Anyway, during the sermon, they lay face up on the mats. Sermons are almost always held around midday when the sun is right above them all. Except it's not here because I have command blocks keeping the sun trapped there. They also have temple service uniforms they wear that are almost entirely blue. You've probably noticed all the blue around here too. Blue is Luvi's whole thing. Most of the major gods have some color association. Yamashit with red, Shor with orange, Akkad with black, Sumat with silver, Aule with yellow, etc. With the exception of Aule, these color assignments are not random. Blue is given to Luvi because of the sky, and the color of his crown, which is sky blue. These armor stands guarding the entrances of the temple are supposed to be statues of Luvi, dressed in the 2 ways he is described as being dressed, in simple yellow or white garments, always with the sky blue crown. They would be holding staffs too if I could do that in Minecraft, but I don't have the armor stand mod. It may look like I'm done with all this, but there's one more thing to show you. The wine cellar. Seems kinda random, doesn't it? At first glance, yes, it does, but it actually does hold some theological significance. It's a dark, not very well maintained place, because it's only ever entered by the priest during the winter to get the wine out. There's another statue of Luvi there too, by the way. Anyway, the wine is only drank during the winter, because to truly emulate Luvi, a worshipper has to do what he does, right? And, as I said in the last video, all Luvi really does during the winter is get drunk during the annual celebration of Akkad's defeat. So, instead of winter services, all the temple goers get drunk and keep discussing philosophy to the best of their ability, and when they drink too much, they just have an alcohol party. In Eastern Mira, where there's more of a Mediterranean climate, this drunken philosophy usually takes place in the temple itself, since it doesn't really get cold enough to be uncomfortable, but further west it does get that cold, so the priest's house is usually the next best location for this sort of stuff. That's about it on the Temple of Luvi. I'm trying to improve my building in this game, and a great way to do that is to build structures from Keishaz. So, this will likely become a series of videos where I take you through an immersive Keishaz experience via Minecraft. Let me know what you thought of the video, and if you'd like to see more stuff like this interspersed with the short story summaries. Take care, and see you all in the next video.